would like to know how many of you like me to continue in English or Urdu or mix. Just raise your hand who wants me to say everything in Urdu. Is there anyone? Okay, so we will carry on in English, right? Is it how you feel comfortable? Yes. Perfect. Are you fully awake? Because in a couple of slides, what's going to happen is you may fall asleep. You might have heard about finance, accounting, numbers. That's really boring, isn't it? Is it or not?
It should wake you up instead of.
Yeah. There are very interesting riddles in maths which can make you up. Can anyone tell 2 plus 2 is equal to 5? How it is possible? 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. How is it possible? Come on, wake up.
Do some business in Pakistan.
I know this boy in red shirt, he knows about it. You know 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, correct? No. How is it possible? It's possible only by mistake. So, I think let's start. So, I welcome you on behalf of Pakistan Association Dubai and Ladies Forum. Yeah, I think मैं इससे गिर जाऊँ. अच्छा आप लोगों को ऐसे आवाज आ रही है ना? ठीक है, I'll move around. Can you hear me? Right from the back. Actually मुझे अपने आप पे भरोसा नहीं है, मैं कार से कहीं लुढ़क के गिर जाऊँ इसलिए. So it's better to be without mic. So that's a bit of my introduction. I am FCCA. I am in the market for the last 20 years. I had been working in different countries, US, UK, UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, and my subject matter expertise are in tax, and I am from Pakistan. I think a few more people coming just in time. That's great. So there are some seats available in between. Would you mind to sit there rather than going right at the back? So what we'll do is now from here, we will cover the topics. We will cover the topic from elementary to intermediate level because financial literacy is literally something when you start eating a bread, it starts from there and there's no ending with it. And during presentations, you will not be allowed to ask questions. I will be asking questions. And after the presentation, then you will be asking me questions, right? And in between, if you got like anxiety of you want to ask something, just write it down. I will try to cover it. So let's start. So when you learn, maybe last week, there is a session going on about financial literacy. You know what we will cover, what's this really about? Any one of you? Come on, say anything. Everything is right. I tell you, you're gonna trust me. You're gonna say, whatever you're gonna say is gonna be 100% correct. So just say it.
Managing money.
Anything else? More answers. That's correct. More.
Savings and income, dividing income.
Saving income, brilliant. Who else?
Same answer.
Same answer. Any new answer? Come on.
How you should spend your money.
Are you both twins? Wearing same shirts, wearing same.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's an interesting thing about it, being twins, and that's related to the finance. You can ask me later on, but I'll try to remember this, and I'll tell you where does it relate to. So, any new answer? Is it about Bitcoin?
How you should spend your money after
How you spend your money?
Investments.
Investments? Please come on. There's so many words. So, honestly speaking, yes, it's all about it. It's all about money. And whatever you do with it, you want to play a lottery, you want to seek a legitimate ways to earn halal money, or you want to seek a legitimate way to spend money in the halal ways. There's so many answers. And trust me, everything is correct. So the first thing coming to our mind is money, and it's all about money. And where does it start from? Why we need it? Like a baby, when the baby born, they start eating solid food after 6 months, because it takes 6 months for them to learn how to chew, and their tummy, their metabolism, they develop into that stage in 6 months time. That's why they start eating solid food after 6 months. So what do you think? Okay, before this, who can make tea at home, boil eggs at home? Just raise your hand. Ah, wow, wonderful. Does that mean you are all going to be a chef?
No.
Definitely no. But it gives you a survival tip. When your parents go back home, you know how to survive. Okay, I'll boil egg in the morning. Yeah, I'll boil egg in the afternoon. And I'll boil egg in the evening. So that's how I survive. So there are skills which we learn which give us survival mean. Similarly, the first age I think you learn about financial literacy is the time when you go to school and your father and mother, instead of giving you a lunchbox, they give you a pocket money. Right? And the whole day you may be thinking of, in the break, I will take 1 chips, 1 cola. Oh, then still I have some money left. Next day I will eat some more thing, and day after I will buy something for my friend. You start thinking about it, isn't it? So the moment you get the money from your parents, basically, your financial literacy starts. Right? How many of you go to the shop and do the shopping, buy something, and when they scan it, you pay the money, and when they pay you back, you count it? How many of you? And you think every time they give you change, correct? Correct or not? Or you just, your dad giving you 50 dirham, you take it to the shop, they take the 50 dirham and return you 45. You just, without counting, you put it in I'll pass it on back to my father. I think most of the kids in the beginning, they do like this. They started learning, okay, on the screen, they see the number, how much I have given, how much the change I should give it back. You don't really count, you rely on some certain computation, even on the display of the screen. So it says 45 change, so this guy should give me 45 change. So the financial literacy starts really from there. And this is why, it is so important. It is just like as important as your cooking skills. In different stages of life, you will find a different skills. So they're just like you need more skills to look like your sister, to be like your sister who always have an ample amount of money, because you learn how to manage the pocket money. Then in a stage you need to become like your mother, how she run the house with a limited budget. You need that skills. Then you go further, you need more skills. How to handle the business. Or, that's good enough, now my father has given me pocket money from last 10 years, now it's my turn. I need to find the ways to earn money first and help my family out. So that's all, it starts right from the beginning. It goes, it's a never ending process. You need it sometimes for yourself, those skills. Sometimes you need those skills for others, so you can help them out. So why do we need it? Why really we want to learn financial literacy? Because this helps us to define another 40 minutes how we go about it. Why? Any two of you, just raise your hand and tell me why you are here today. Come on. Who hasn't spoken yet? Would you mind to say something? Why you are here?
To learn finance.
Hmm?
Learn finance.
To learn finance? Yeah.
How to use money wisely.
You have money?
Yes.
Wow. Who else has money? Just raise your hand. You have money in your pockets? Come on. Wow. If I take all of your money and I put in my pocket, what I will be called? Don't say IMF. I'll be called bank. So your money will be amana with me. So you learn one more term, bank. So anyone else, like maybe who's looking for a job and you want to quickly polish some of the financial skills, or maybe someone is the eldest son of the father and he wants to support his father in the business. So, and maybe you have, just like in our time, we used to have a galla with the matti ka galla kya bolta hai?
Piggy bank.
Yeah. So we used to break after every year and we love the sound and the coins everywhere, and then we count it and we see what we can do with it. And most of these things which may be like you get it like this nowadays, we used to have this for it. For example, we want to buy a cycle, we need to break one galla after every year. 1 year we get a tire, the next year another tire, the third year we will get the cycle. So now come on, the official, you can learn by all means, by heart, but we will come to these words. So financial literacy is the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investment. This is not my definition. That's from Investopedia. You can write it, this word Investopedia. This particular site will help you a lot about investments. So, 3 things: ability to understand, effectively use financial skills, and number 4 is financial management. We will come back on these ones. So, some basics, I'm sure you understand all about it. So, as I said, it's all about money. But where does money come from? Gifted money? What kind of gifted money you normally have? Oh, come on. No, the red shirt. Yeah, you raised your hand. Say it. ED. Oh, fantastic. What else? I said so many times the word pocket money.
Monthly allowance. Monthly allowance.
Monthly. Does your dad says this is your monthly allowance when they give you money? Wow. Fantastic. Yes, that's correct. Anything else?
Inheritance.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Inheritance. So, kuch log, there are a few people who are rich, by born rich. What does that mean is, they get a lot of wealth in the legacy. And another way of getting money is earn it.
Like by getting jobs.
Well, wonderful. Oh, where were you before?
This I have just joined now.
You just reached now.
Yeah, I just came.
I'm sure you will get more valuable input from you. And the third thing is, now we got the money, where we going to spend those money. If we are good at it, but if we are not good at expenditure, we will not have savings. every time by 20th of the month will say, Mama, pocket money finished. We need more. Yeah? And maybe your mother will be asking your father, things are so expensive. Can't handle it. Because they may be not very much careful with the expenditure. They may not be earning enough money. So this is the very basic model of money. We earn, we spend, and we save. And if we cannot save the money, what does that mean is, if your expenditures are more than your earnings, what does that mean is, you are in debt. Thank you. I know there are different age groups, so some of them will find it very basic, but it's also equally important to understand the cycle. So let's extend the scope a little bit. So, source in, source out. And we have some savings, profits, and dividends. So there is one thing missing. And being a Muslim, I want you to say it, especially here. What is missing?
Interest.
Charity.
Interest.
That's already there, interest. Islamically, what's missing? What's very important, which we as a nation normally forget these days.
Sadaqah?
Oh, sadaqah, mashallah, we give charity, a lot of charity. So, there was a guy called Behlul in the time of Harun Rashid. Once he asked someone, tell me the manners of eating. And the guy said, you say Bismillah, you sit down, your hands should be clean and all that stuff. He said, you said absolutely right, but there is one thing missing. What you're going to eat, is this from halal source or not? You can find this, these are just general terms, but in everything you will find halal and haram. If somebody you know, he is going to casino and he's playing, he's betting, and those sources are not halal. So when they give you money, what will happen? You earn money. You can earn money by selling fruit, vegetables. You can also earn money by selling wines, drugs. Borrowed money. You can borrow money from banks, which will give you a cost, which is unfortunately norms, and it has some interest on it. Investments. You put money into some businesses, which may be investing money into something which is against the Islamic values. So every time when you seek where the money come from, the first question should be always halal or haram. So anyway, just to explain, you get the money from gifts. The gifts could be your inheritance, your pocket money, your ED, and all that. The money you got.
No, give it.
So, and what will you do with that money? You will buy some grocery, do some motor expenses, pay rent. That's what you normally, for example, your mother does. Your father gives the money, they pay for these different things. Now, earned money is where you put your money and efforts. The first thing is like employment. Soon after you pass your A level, you either will go into a business or employment or job where you offer your skills. And against your skills and services, what you will earn is money. And then you will spend the money in certain ways. You can grow your skills, you give money all back to your parents, or you can put all the money into entertainment, whatever you want. Sometimes you don't have money, and you don't have money, but you still want to earn something. then you borrow money. And when you borrow money, there are always conditions with it. For example, if you borrow money from bank, the bank say, okay, we'll let you have this, but every month you need to pay this much, and this much interest you will have to pay, and on the top of it, there is a fixed fees for it. So these are called finance expenses. So when you borrow money, there are certain conditions. And sometimes, if your friend is there, he can put, okay, he's borrowing money, you borrowing money from a friend. What kind of conditions he can put? Look, I'm helping you in your time. You must need to help someone else in time. Or he can give you a karde hasana. So no need to pay me anything extra. Just pay me when you have the money. So, or you can even borrow money from your father, from your parents, from your family. I hope they will not charge you any interest on it. This investment. What is the difference between investment and earn money? We will have a look in a second. So you earn there. These are the areas where you get the money, and these are the areas where you spend on your personal expenses, on your business expenses, and if you arrange the money, then there will be some finance expenses. And because of all of this, what you have in nutshell, you have savings, you have profits, you have dividends. I'll come back to this slide in a minute. So, remember in the definition we saw that term financial management. We learned the skills, certain skills, to do the financial management. Financial literacy is required to do better financial management. But what is actually financial management? What really we want to do? Now we know these are the areas we earn money from. These are the areas we spend money. And if there is a gap, it is either called saving, profits, dividends, right? But with those skills, we can increase our savings. Yeah? We can increase our dividends if we manage it properly, right? So that the bottom amount, the amount you will take with you from the business, from investment, you can increase it. And just to go to the next topic, I'll go back one slide and just want to say a few words about these terms. Most of you are aware of it, but I think there may be some people who may not. So when we say money, it's mean dollar, AED. What are these?
Currencies.
These are currencies. So money is always linked with the currency. When you say it's costing you 100, you can say 100 what? $100, 100 dirham. So, and physically what we have? Notes, coins. But if the money is saved in the bank, we have the bank account. Certain ways to make payment through bank accounts. The topic is methods of paying and receiving money. So when we have any transaction, we lending money to someone, we buying something, we can pay them cash. Or if we offer some services, we also can get cash. We go to the shop, we swipe. I'm sure almost 100% of you, if not yours, your dad's, your mother's card, you must have swiped. It will be either debit card or credit card. That's another way of making payments. I think 50% of you may have seen some checks. And there are some bank transfers. Maybe your parents paying your school fee through your bank transfers. And remittances. You know remittances? Can anyone tell me what is remittance? Bank transfer remittance. Very important. Your mother, father may be fighting on remittances. Why are you sending that much money back home? Or, yes, we need to send money back home. My cousin is getting married. How do we send? We talk about, we call it remittance. Remittance is either receiving money from outside the country where you live, or sending the money outside the country, from outside the country where you live. I want to understand, and I want you to understand as well, the difference between debit card, credit card, and check. There's a bit of learning for today. I'm not going to teach you all financial skills definitely, but I will talk about financial skills. So, what is the big difference between debit card and credit card? Anyone? Do you know the difference? Your mom and father ever gave you the credit card or debit card?
Debit card is when you have the money in your account and minuses from that, and credit is when you pay later.
When you pay later. Fantastic. Does everyone understand? Has everyone understood it? What is the difference between credit card and debit card? So I think we take one more example. Anyone else? These both are Visa card. This one is debit card and this one is credit card. When we say borrowing, remember, this is one of the way of borrowing. The bank said, okay, Mr. Kashif, we love you, we like you. Don't worry, whenever you need money up to 50,000 dirham, you can use this card and pay us later. Fantastic. So it's not hitting my bank account. When I swap this, my bank balance remains same. But what increase is my liability. So I owe this money when I use this card. But when I use this card, it hit my bank account. For example, in my bank account, the amount was 25,000 was the balance. If I swap this card for 500, my balance will be, come on, I have 25,000 in my bank. You swap this card for 500, how much the balance will be after this? 24,500. But when I swap this card, my balance remains same. Yeah?
Yes.
But what increased when I swap this card? Liability. Thank you. And what another difference between debit and credit card? There's one more difference. Timing. Yeah. So maybe I will have a salary in 10 days time. At the moment in my account is only 5,000, but I need to spend about 10,000. Within the next 15 days, I will have my full salary. I should be able to cover it. Because of the timing difference, you're not always used to borrow it. Most of the use of the credit card is with the time difference. No one likes to pay interest because 99.99% credit card offer you 30 days interest free. So whatever you spend on it, you pay within 30 days, there will be no interest. So what it means is, there will be no borrowing cost. Oops. So, when we borrow money, there will be an interest. So using the credit card mean also, you have to pay interest on it. So we understand the debit card and credit card difference. What is the difference between check and other payments? And that is very important. Anyone tell me in your house where you normally issue checks? I think you should never. Are you all have your own villas or own flat? Or you renting it out? Anyone of you has his own villa? Thank you. Anyone who has taken it from Versal or some other companies, renting it? Most of you? How do you pay rent? Or how does your parent pay rent?
Checks. Checks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They pay through checks. What is check basically? Debit and credit card are the instant transactions. Check is a promise document. I promise you I'll pay every 3 months this much amount. Please give me the house for rent. And we gave them 4 checks in advance. the payment will be deducted in future. And it's a legal document. If I do not honor it, I could be imprisoned. I could be taken to the court. So it's a very important document. It's a trust basically. So if you break a trust with your friend, what will happen? They will not lend you money next time. Why they do not lend you money next time? Because you do not trust this guy. He promised me a check. Mr. Kashif, I will pay you back 10,000 by 30 days, and here's the check. And if the person is not honoring the check, I will not lend them money next time. What it means is, the image of that person, the credibility of that person or the company has gone down. I will not. And how does it is measured in the society? This is called credit scoring. So every time we dishonor our promises, our things, we become untrustworthy. Untrustworthy. We're not trustworthy anymore. And how do they measure? There is a score. Whatever you buy, sell, it's going to hit somewhere in your scoring. And whenever you ask someone to lend you money, they check your scoring. Right? So we learn about credit score here. So checks are very important too. If you want to be trustworthy and you're in the market, people say, okay, don't worry if you don't have cash. Don't worry if you don't have a debit card, credit card, just give us the check because they trust you. And another thing for which you use check is the amount, large amount. Normally debit and credit card has smaller limits. You can use day-to-day transaction with debit and credit card, but if you want to make payments of hundreds of thousands of dirham or dollar, you better use check. So financial management, what we do is we use all the skills to maximize our savings, our profits, and dividend. But how we can do it? How we can show, okay, my dad is in the business or I am in the job, how do I make sure the money I take home or the money I have been given by my parents, well, the pocket money is now beyond this. Now we're talking about a little bit larger scale. We have a business, we have a job, we want to save more money, we want to earn more money. So what we need to do? We need to plan things. Your mom plans, isn't it? December 26th there will be a sale. Planning in advance. Yeah? If you do not plan in advance, what you will end up is, you will buy the same shirt later on, but expensive. Right? So planning is very important. What is planning? Thinking in advance. Whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to do. And for that, you must have to have a budget. If you go in a shop, in a market without a budget, and you want to buy some phone, you may end up buying something beyond your limit, beyond your budget. Because it's very likely that you will go under the influence of buying more and more. Or whatever you like without looking at what really your limit is. So budget will tell you what your limit is. Why we make budget? For example, we want to do something at the end of the year. Oh, my sister's wedding is there. Oh wow. I must give her a gift. Yeah? But to give her a gift, I have a certain every month saving. I'm planning. Number one thing. I'm planning. But what kind of gift I can give her? Okay, I'll give her some beauty box, for example. And that costing, let's say, 5,000. Okay, it's costing you 5,000. But you need to pay this later on. Then you need to, you budget your expenses so that you can have that objective achieved. So budget will help you to achieve your objectives, financial objectives. But you need to learn. These are the areas related to the financial literacy. These are the areas related to your financial literacy which you need to learn. If you want to really manage your wealth, your finances, you need to do market research. If you want to go into the business, you cannot say, my friend opened this shop, mobile shop, that shop, I will open. I'm not finding job, there's no one is taking care, or no one is basically good enough to hire me. So I'm just gonna go to start the business. But did I do a market research? If not, the chances are instead of making profit, we will be making losses. So, okay, you come up with a wonderful idea, you've done the planning, everything you executed, but you're not maintaining proper accounting and bookkeeping. Yeah. If you do not, then you will not realize at some point where you're making losses, what's really happening. Why I opened a restaurant, why last month sale of shawarma was less, but my staff bought more and more meat. How's it possible? Right? So if it is not done, the accounting and bookkeeping basically give you insight of your business. You're busy in dealing with people, but actual transaction is happening and recording. It gives you a tool to understand what's really happening. And you don't need to even become an accountant to manage your money. What you need to do is understand financial reports. So when you do accounting and bookkeeping, they give you a report. One should read it. And to read it, you don't need to be an accountant. You could be a doctor, you could be a teacher, you could be anyone, right? But you should be able to read the financial reports. And based on that, you can also do the investments in the business. You have everything now, you have controls in place. These are called controls like, for example, you have a shop, you're doing all the sale today, and at the end of the day, the guy who's sitting on the sales counter, he is counting the money. But there's somebody else need to be there to cross-check. So certain controls you place in the business. So these all are the skills which you need to learn to effectively manage your finances. And every area of this is a specialized area where you can find different courses to polish yourself. Earn money and investments. You've seen this before? In a few slides back, when I was showing you the source in, there was 3 types. One is the gift, one is the earn money, and the third thing was investment. So what is the difference between earn money and investment? Earn money is where you basically participate. It could be a business. You start a business, you're involved in it. You cannot leave it for other people to run it, right? So that's your efforts there, your time there, your money is there. So participation defined is your business, as your earn money or your investment money. On the other side, you invest some money in Bitcoin. You're not participating in Bitcoin. Sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. You sleep well, you do not sleep well. It doesn't really matter. You have no controls. So most of the investments are, you do not have control, you do not have to spend time on it, right? And the risks. So the business you have, you have more control. You are exposed to less risk, but the capital, the investments is where basically you rely on certain information produced by other people, right? You have some question?
Yeah, so betting on Bitcoin is haram because you don't know if it will go up or down.
So say again.
So betting on, like, you put money in Bitcoin then it goes up and down, is that haram? Because you don't know if it will go up or down.
Okay. Here we talk about financial literacy. To certain transactions, if they are haram or halal, there's so many things behind it, right? Anything to do with betting, like you put money there, you don't put effort, you don't take risk, right? Like you can spend money into shares even. Shares value can also go up and down, but they are based on certain performances of that company and that industry. But Bitcoin is still, we don't know how it is really measured and how it is regulated. So I cannot comment on it. I'm not mufti. I cannot say halal and haram thing. But yes, there are doubts. But for this, better is we consult with the religious scholar. Your question is valid, very well. So now we talk a bit about investment. Investment, right? So you have certain income and you have your own needs. And fulfill that need, you spend money. That's the need of today. What is your need of today? Your clothing, your food, your traveling, your school fees. And then you left with the savings. And when you have that savings with you, you do this investment. And investment cover your future needs. You get it? So one is earning money for your today's need. That's another way of defining investment. And investment is to cover your future need. So you must have heard about it. Real estate, some people buy plots. Okay, when our children will, after 10, 12 years, the value of their plots will increase, and I can do certain things. Planning for future need, investment. Bonds, same things. Shares in listed company, shares in private limited company. Listed companies are the companies whose shares are traded at exchange, stock exchange. And private limited companies like me, you, couple of friends together, we have shares, 4 shares, and we have equally shares. So we can say, okay, you three do business, I have nothing to do with. You need money, here's my money. I'll become a sleeping partner. Investment, mutual funds. Forex is about the currency exchange. So you buy and sell currencies and you make money because of the exchange of difference. Mutual funds is that all friends together put the money into something. We call it BC committee sometime. So we make some pool of funds and then we think of, okay, what should we do? Should we invest into the shares? Should we invest into the into some business? Or should we, okay, we got some money, enough money, now we can at least buy a Honda Accord and sell it at a certain price and then we'll share the profit. So it's a mutual. The word is mutual, very important. There is a technical terms you will learn about it. But the concept is, it's a mutual fund which could be invested anywhere. Cryptocurrency, we have the examples of Bitcoin and all that. So these all are the different type of investments available these days. And what basically we earn from it, or what we lose from those investments. If we buy the property, it's a real estate income. If we invest into different companies as shares, we receive dividends. Sometimes we can, like if we buy shares or we buy property at less price and sell at a higher price. We call it capital gain appreciation. Right? You might have seen some very old watches. People sell it very expensive, right? At a very expensive price. Some old, very old cars, which if you think about their economic life is almost zero, but they are being sold at a very higher price. So there are things which appreciate rather than depreciate. But there are certain things which depreciate. For example, I remember Tesla, when their test was failed for driverless car, suddenly their share price gone down. So you can make capital losses as well. Currency, Pakistan you send 1,000 dirham every month, I'm just saying. And before you were sending, it was converted into 65,000. Now it is converting into 75,000. So you're gaining something, right? So in currency exchange, it's a very technical game. Actually, it talks about where you are. Sometimes you make money at selling, sometimes you make money at buying. But this is also related to investments. So what we really need to do now, we know a bit about where we are, what financial skills we need to do, we need to acquire, but now, how we really master them, what should we do? So before we answer this, what really we want to do, that's very important. Because like in the healthcare industry, you can become a nurse, you can become a dentist, you can become a surgeon, but what really you want to be? You want to do your own business, you need a certain skills. You need maybe business skills more and financial literacy a little less. You want to manage your own investments, you need a different kind of financial literacy skills. Or you just want to find a better job in a company. Then you may be, okay, I need to do this degree, that degree, and I'll find a job in a company. Or I want to acquire those skills so that I can serve many people, many companies. Yeah? What does that mean? Many companies, serve many companies. You know, all those public accounting firms, they serve many people. They manage many people's wealth.
Consultant.
Concept. So answer to above will decide what should you learn and at what level. So what kind of learning you can have in the market? You can have a learning from experience. I know what exactly my dad is earning. I don't need to learn all this accounting and financial literacy. I know exactly what my dad is bringing. I'll sit at the table, I'll count the money, and whatever is required, I will learn by time. That's one way, no doubt about it. And I bet you go to a small shop owner, and you take an accountant with them. The shop owner knows more about their business because they learned those skills over the period of 30 years. But how about if those 30 years experience can be learned in 3 years' time? You need certain qualifications. Learn it. There are certified chartered qualifications available. There are regular classroom studies. For example, you want to do business, you want to do 20% financial literacy. Rest of the literacy is about how to deal with your business. Then you maybe MBA, BBA is suitable for you. But if you really want to learn something which you can offer other people, manage your own investments, manage other people's investment, manage your own financial assets, manage other people's assets, there are certain qualifications. And if these are very known, you can go for it to learn more about it. ICAW, the Institute of Chartered Accountant in England and Wales, very renowned, and acceptance is almost all over the world. FCCA, Association of Chartered Certified Accountant, again, is the acceptance of this degree is very much. You can go to South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, UK, certain areas of US, 1 or 2 exams you do, then you will become the CGPA in Canada. So it's very, very much accepted. And the roots are, these are the studies with the experience. So you cannot just pass your exam and you become ACCA. There are certain trainings you need to acquire. And for that, I'll tell you here, like Big Four. Big Four are what? Have you heard about Big Four? How many of you heard about Big Four? Anyone else? My Big Four brothers. No. This Big Four is, they are audit and accounting and consulting firms. In the worldwide, there are top 10 firms. And the ranking of top 4 keep changing. So when you go in the market, the most credible institution where you can learn is the Big Four. Now Big Four offers trainings. Big Four offers training through graduate programs. You start, for example, ICAW or ACCA. After certain exams, you can sit with them. You can enroll with them. They will not pay you good money, definitely, but you will have a chance to learn the skills through your experience and while studying. There will be people who will finish their studies. They will be at the level after 3 years where you are now if you start working for those organizations. So that's a big difference. SEMA is about management, so it's about management accounting, more about it. But again, this is not the scope of today's presentation, the difference between management and financial accounting. But the thing is, here are the things which you can do. Even the CA of Pakistan is very credible certificate. It's not easily earned. None of them, in fact. It needs your time, training, focus. But once you've done it, believe me, you will be able to not only manage your own wealth, and some people think like, oh, finance, boring, but it is, what is all about this these days, the whole world, it's all about money. Halal money, haram money, but it's money. And everyone is very much sensitive about it. If you can do something about their money, you are into welfare. You are into something serving your people. A good, right information at right time. If you can give it to the people, right advice you can give it to the people, that can change people's life. Similarly, if you give them a wrong advice, you can demolish someone's future. I think with this note, what you need to do is, from here, find out. It's not if you want to become an accountant. You must need to acquire certain financial skills. But if you really want to be in that field, these are the areas where you can go. So if you have any question, I can answer quickly, and then we have Brother Atik waiting for us. Any question? I don't want to forget Malami. Come on.
Where can we see the credit score? Or you check someone's credit score?
How you want to check your credit score?
No, someone else's credit score.
Okay. Why you want to check someone else's credit score?
Because when you said when they borrow money, you check their
Okay.
credit scores too.
Okay. That credit score, thank you for the question. Basically, it's by legal government entities. They maintain it, and because of the Data Protection Act, I cannot see your credit score, you cannot see my credit score. We apply for lending, the lending institutes, they see your credit score with your permission, right? Anyone else? Yes, beta.
At the beginning, you mentioned how twins were related to the.
Where my hearing is not, let me just come over.
At the beginning, you mentioned how twins were related to the schools. Is that not?
How does it relate? They were credit? What?
Yeah, the twins.
Oh, twins, oh my God, thank you. Right. In accounting, there is a term called debit and credit. So whenever we talk about a transaction, it cannot be completed if there is not equal matching credit. The twins are just like that, a debit and credit, they complete each other. So your brothers, with their skills, you complete each other, right? So that's what I was about to say. How do you relate into the finance and accounting? So it's like you're doing a transaction of debit 20, you can not do a credit transaction of 10. The credit transaction has to have be 20, the same amount, same value, right?
You understood? You understood? Did you understand?
So if that's it, you have question.
ये आपने क्रेडिट कार्ड और डेबिट कार्ड की भी बात की। क्रेडिट कार्ड के बारे में क्या ख्याल है आपका? हलाल है?
सब चीज़ें हलाल हैं। अल्लाह ताला जो है कुरान पाक में जो है तुम उस चीज़ को अपने ऊपर क्यों हराम करते हो जिसको मैंने तुम्हारे लिए हलाल किया है। टीवी भी एक वक्त था हराम था, ठीक है। हर चीज़ का इस्तेमाल, ये कपड़े, ये नीयत, ये पहनावा इसको हलाल हराम बनाता है। क्रेडिट कार्ड भी अगर वो इंटरेस्ट फ्री है तो उसमें हराम और हलाल का सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता। फिर एक बड़े लेवल पे बात आती है कि अभी हम जिस माशरे में रहते हैं वो एक कैपिटल सोसाइटी है, उसके अंदर सारे फाइनेंस जो है वो इंटरेस्ट के थ्रू ही चलते हैं। अगर मैं एक बैंक अकाउंट भी खोलता हूँ और उसमें कोई मैं इंटरेस्ट ना कमाता हूँ ना देता हूँ, बट स्टिल आई सपोर्ट अ सिस्टम। So in that mean you can say, but that's not area for me to say haram or halal. Haram or halal is a bigger thing to say. I cannot say it. But the element within the credit card is your interest. Not only credit card, any kind of borrowing. Where you have interest, you should always consult with your mufti and teacher to tell you, is it going to be haram or halal? The only thing I tell you about interest, interest is a transaction. You must have heard me saying earning, earn money, investment money. Earn money where you put your money, efforts, yeah? But there is a risk, you may lose as well, right? Even in an investment, you put your money, you engage your capital in something, you bought a property, you may lose out, right? Interest is something different. The way the West is working or the capital market is working, you have 100,000, we promise you paying 6%. You give the money to the bank, they say no risk of losing money. You must get 6% interest on it. So what is this earning? This earning is purely based on the money, not the effort, not the risk. So if there is no effort, no risk involved, it is highly likely it is interest, which is riba and haram in Islam.
क्रेडिट कार्ड में तो जो है आप साइन करते हैं ना, जो साइन अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की अगर 50 डेज से 30 डेज से अबव हो गया देन आई विल पे द इंटरेस्ट, राइट?
Yeah.
तो वो तो आई डोंट नो कि अगर आप ये आपका जो मैं समझाऊं कि 30 डेज के अंदर अंदर आपने पे कर दिया देन इट विल नॉट बी हराम। लेकिन यू आर साइनिंग अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद द बैंक, इफ आई पास 30 डेज देन इट विल बिकम Interest.
इसके लिए कहते हैं ना कि वो आपको मुंडेर पे नहीं चलना चाहिए, अवॉइड करना चाहिए, इसीलिए उलमा कहते हैं अवॉइड करना। इवन ऐसे प्रोमिस में भी मत जाएं जो कि आपको गलत की तरफ ले जाएं। लेकिन बाज़ वक़्त आज की दुनिया में हम जिस चीज़ में गुजरते हैं, ये तो सिर्फ एक इंटरेस्ट है, हम तो असल प्रिंसिपल मनी हलाल और हराम की बात करते हैं। इधर सूद जो है वो प्रिंसिपल से हट कर है कि हम झूठ बोल के कमाते हैं, फॉल्स कमिटमेंट्स करते हैं, अपनी जो सर्विसेज बेचते हैं, जो चीज़ दिखाते हैं, ये कहते हैं जी ये जेन्युइन है, इसमें सब चीज़ें वैसी ही हैं, लेकिन हमें पता होता है कि नहीं है। हमारा मसला आजकल इंटरेस्ट से ज़्यादा उसकी प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर है, हम प्रिंसिपली ही चीज़ों को सही नहीं कमा रहे। तो ये आई लीव दैट एरिया फॉर उलमा, बट आई मोर फोकस ऑन द प्रिंसिपल एरिया कि हमारा मेन सोर्स ऑफ अर्निंग जो है वो हलाल होना चाहिए।
Thank you.
I'm really sorry, Atik bhai, we started session bit late.
Sir, perfectly fine.
Thank you.
With my limited knowledge, I'll just try to explain this in a simple way. अल्लाह ताला ने बहुत सी चीज़ें ऐसी बनाई हैं दुनिया में हमारे सामने